I was just thinking about my balls a little bit, thinking about my testicles, and I realized that I rarely do that. Though I feel sure I interact with them on a regular basis. I think that your balls might be like the best friend that you had that was basically just because he lived right next door to you. But that shouldn't take away from the importance of the relationship. It just means it started kind of randomly, but really can't stress enough how important that relationship becomes over an entire life. Like, your balls can change your life, and like in many different ways. Your balls, in one way of looking at it, can create life. But I was just thinking, actually, Joe, though, about your balls as just kind of like your friend, your casual friend that you've known forever. Coming by your house. Like friends you might invite over for dinner. A good friend might come over and bring some food and some beer. A great friend would come over and open up your cupboards and just start pulling things out because he's hungry. I think your balls are like that. I also like first thing in the morning, standing out here in my robe. Like when you wake up, you're hot underneath the sheets. You had too many blankets on. You put your robe and you stumble outside, and the dog's taking a pee, and you just grab your balls with one hand, and it's just some sort of strange hand motion that I think you don't use in any other situation, where you kind of like grab your balls and then you're not adjusting them, you're adjusting the pubic hair around your balls. Like if they're stuck to your balls with sweat, you want to free up that pubic hair so that like the hair could catch the wind, maybe even catch a little sunlight out here in your backyard, and thus the sweat can dry naturally and faster. Like, I'm not going to mop my balls if I don't have to, because my balls are designed to mop themselves. I think in a closing note, thinking about my testicles, I never really intend to use them. I've never wanted to have a child. I think children are great. I think having children an awful lot like either wanting to be a gardener or wanting to be a farmer. And I don't want to be a gardener or a farmer. I understand that many things could go wrong with my balls. I could get sick because of them. And that could change my life drastically. Like, they'd go from like that friend that I see every once in a while and don't think of that often to being a very prominent fixture and feature of my life. Oh, but casually, I was just thinking that it's too bad. I think that women are missing out on having balls. I think that that moment where you stop and you adjust your balls because they're in your jeans and your jeans aren't fitting quite right, or your underwear's gotten bunched up, and there's just this half moment of like just pausing, and I don't know if your mind goes on hold. I don't know if it just kind of wanders around, and whatever is the next card under the deck of thought, it just flips over that card and takes a look at it, but isn't really going to consider it yet because like you're adjusting your balls right now. It doesn't take a lot of thought. It doesn't take a lot of effort. For some, it happens subconsciously, and in fact that they'll do it in the middle of a meeting while they're talking to a bunch of business partners. I don't think that's ever been the case with me. I think that there is a signal for attention, and for a moment, it's like your whole body gives your testicles the attention, and just enough attention that that your balls needed. And I don't think that that's really replicated in almost any other aspect of the human body, like my body. Like that moment of need and non-thought. Because most of the other body's needs, you give it lots of thought. Like even when like you don't need it, you think about it. But not your balls. Anyway, I think women are missing out on that.